Well, hello there, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Bosto to everyone. Favor, healing, and happy birthday. So good to see everybody. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you, all the moderators. Susie Q. Hello. David Casso, Kaz. Um, you know, all the moderators. Thank you. And everybody else. How the heck are you? I hope you're doing good this fine, powerful day. So the backdrop today is our, well, further us out, except for Pluto. This is Neptune. Neptune is now being affected by this galactic sheet, this wave that is coming through, or we're going through it. I don't know. I think it's the same thing. Hello, that's hot. And what we have here is the black dot that would be over here. That's a big storm. You got that one that's over here. Yep. And what you have is that we've been watching this and for a long time, and go over to suspicious observers. Ben really gives you the story. It's over on NASA.gov. It's retrograding, but the other one is staying stationary. What? So the next one we'll be watching for is Uranus. And if we begin to see changes like we saw with poor Pluto, Pluto got its butt kicked. 20% of its atmosphere gone. Baby, out of there. Now we're seeing this on our family out there in Neptune. And so if Uranus, we begin to see the visible changes taking place there, then with Jupiter, um, wonder what happens when they start lighting up. Jupiter, Saturn, yeah, means it's coming in for us, baby. Oh, well, thank you, Angela. Maisie, how you doing? Pretty kitty cat. Kitty, 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 kitty. Come on. I love cats. Cats are cool. They absolutely. Who knows? We may come back as cats, or maybe we have. They're unique in their personalities. So anyway, hey, heads up. I find it interesting. We're about to conclude on the pyramid code, and we're going to learn a lot about pyramids today. And then we begin to see all these changes, and it's really interesting. In my office, so I collected all the pyramids that I have. This is one. This is made out of Shugnite. And this one from Marsha. Pretty cool stuff. As with this, they're all around, as well as this one. And then the link that you have below as well. This is one that was, oh no, that's just a cool effect. I dig that. Mark made this one. And as you can see, this is, oh, that is just too cool for school. Lilith. And anyway, yeah, just, and I'm sure y'all probably have pyramids around your house. I know Marsha's got a bunch of them. Bonnie, yep, big changes ahead. I'm not so worried about the politics and all that. That's cycles, they're eventually, if there's long-term goals. But when you start seeing other planets in our solar system starting to be impacted, to those of you who don't know this, Pluto lost 20% of its atmosphere. Gone. It was the first indicator for many that the galactic sheet we're either going through it or it's going through us. It really doesn't matter, I don't think. But now we're seeing Neptune, and again, when the stories come out, and they will, when we start seeing changes on Uranus, folks, get ready. It's really a question now of, there is something coming at us, and it's going to have physical changes. And I'm of the belief that if we're seeing in the physical, that tells me something's happening in the spiritual realm. I am becoming more convinced, folks, that there is an upheaval in the spiritual realm. We've read of the wars in the past, but I believe that this galactic sheet carries an energy with it. Hey, David Barry, how you doing, brother? Barnette, hello, hon, Pamela. I believe that it's carrying with it an energy on the spiritual level. I'm convinced of it. It can't be just physical. One thing I learned in my days in the faith-based Christian movement is that I was taught that the spiritual always is superior to the physical. And if we see something in the physical realm that alters our way of being, our planet, then something has taken place in the spiritual realm. And if we're seeing this wave heading towards us, I can only anticipate that there has to be an intensity that we will first feel in the spirit realm. And I sense that that's what we're feeling right now. I have a sense it's what we've been feeling for a number of years. And we're trying to, nail it down. Like, well, where is it coming from? I think that, I'm not saying that this is the sole cause, but I think that it would warrant at least a good discussion of the fact that if we're seeing this galactic sheet coming through, the planets are being impacted by it. The sun is going to be impacted by it. We are energy beings. How could it be that we would not be psychically to spiritually impacted first? I think there's far more to this conjunction, this alignment, this new age. I find it interesting that we're about to go through this galactic sheet, and it all spirals out from the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way. We pass through it, as we travel around. It just so happens that we're the generation that's up on deck, and here it comes. And I don't know what it means for the earth. If the thing that I don't like, that's why I study, is that there's so many other things happening at the same time. We're energy beings, and thus we're impacted by polarities, and our poles are on the move. They're heading to a new home. And then you've got this galactic wave coming, the sheet coming through, or we're going to go through it. It's going to impact the earth, and then it's going to impact our sun. Because remember, we're on the inner. So anyway, yeah. Something's up. Something's up. Hey, Robert V, how you doing? Yeah, it has, Robert. It about every 26,000 years, every 26,500 years, we go through one of these bands. They spiral out, and we're already in it. Ain't no turning back. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no mountain. But anyway, I digress. That's not what we came here to do. But you have to admit, though, it's a delightful conversation. We ought to have a group. If you want to come on, email me and we can have this. In fact, I may bring it up on the Andromeda 7. I know they have a whole program worked out there, but I think it's something that we need to start considering. We are beings of energy. So let's move on with the pyramids. Pyramid power. Power to the pyramid. Power to the pyramid now. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I want to thank everyone for the great emails. I appreciate it. I really did not know how many of you actually just listen. We got quite an audience out there that just listens. And so thank you all. I received a number of emails and man, they just edified me. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's get with this because I think we're actually going to be able to get done with this. But it is so cool. Wait till you see what comes up here. All right, the pyramid consists of 4 equilateral triangular surfaces. Each triangle has 3 equal sides and 3 vertices. The inner surface within each of the triangles is known as the divine surface. It's interesting. They did not teach this in geometry. God resides within each of the triangles, divine surfaces, kind of like what Trina and I were talking about, fractals, and is an integral part of the pyramid. The 4 equilateral surfaces on the pyramid allow us to understand that each pyramid has 4 visible divine surfaces projecting from the exterior of the pyramid into the universe, as well as 4 internal divine surfaces radiating into the pyramid. The base of the pyramid is the basic divine surface that consists of a square with 4 vertices. The square radiates its energy through its surface, both internal and external, as well as its 4 vertices to the apex at the top of the pyramid. Now, are you taking notes? Test at the end of the chapter. Each vertex at the base of the pyramid faces a different direction: north, south, east, west, the 4 cardinal points. Each wall, the divine surface of the pyramid, also faces a different direction: north, south, east, west. Each vertex at the base of the pyramid provides energy for the living, human, and animals, the plant life, the inanimate, and the spirit. Well, that's interesting. Something happened because, there ain't no life around there now, particularly as the ones that we think about in Egypt. Rather desolate, isn't it? But anyway, all of these vertices as one radiate and absorb the divine energy from the apex at the top of the pyramid. The apex is always connected by laser or solar radiation to the original divine energy source. Well, it's been missing. No one knows what happened to the top of it, because that was the energy source. I wonder if they took it that were, the cats that have the flying saucers, or is it one of our kind, or is it another kind? All right. On all of the divine surfaces and all the vertices, energy radiates and absorbs the divine energy simultaneously. The pyramid both projects and receives energy. And by the way, if you ever look at the pictures of what they think what the original pyramids looked like, you could have seen those as it was in the book of Genesis, where it says that when Abraham and Sarah were heading to Egypt to, basically escape the drought, that you could see the pyramids days, and I'm talking like a week before you ever get there. They had this sheen to them. Anyway, I digress. But it is interesting because I think it had something to do with how this energy source worked. The pyramids transmits through its divine surfaces and the divine energy that radiates outward, but also inward through its internal divine surfaces. The divine surfaces at the base of the pyramid radiates energy into the pyramid, upward to the apex towards the spirit, and downward into the earth towards the physical. Well, there you go. When the pyramid rises and flies, as it did in the ancient days, one light could be seen coming out of the apex and four from the vertices on the base towards the north, south, east, and west. I've seen that before. Stargate. Go and watch it. That's exactly what it's describing. There were 12 lights at the bottom of the base divine surface in the shape of a circle that could only be seen when flying. These lights symbolize the zodiac. Additionally, there was one light in the middle of the circle that represented the divine light. Even today, there are spaceships that exist in the shape of pyramids, exactly how I described them here. The spaceships exist in many shapes and styles, such as pyramids, cylinders, saucers, flying triangles, and many other different shapes. And I will add this: go and search out paranormal caught on camera and look up. In fact, you probably go to the Great Oracle and just type in pyramid shape UFO over Pentagon. I'll guarantee you this: if you haven't seen it, it will blow your freaking mind. Here is a pyramid hovering, and the way it turns is just very, very interesting. Hovering above the Pentagon. Wasn't hiding, and it was bigger than the Pentagon. Check it out. There are motherships that look like massive industrialized cities that just hover in space waiting for incoming and outgoing flights. The size of each is unimaginable. Motherships usually hover in space without motion. They rarely move, hover, or fly to a different geographical location. In my common sense man ways, that says, well, if they don't move, then that means maybe they're using cloaking technology, like many people catch. Every pyramid stores worldly power and divine energy eternally due to the way the pyramid was constructed by the photosol. Every pyramid was built in different sizes, but every wall is always at a 51-degree angle, with a precise angle relative to the sun. Each pyramid is also connected to the 12-star system in our zodiac. As I said earlier, every pyramid today is facing north towards the North Star. The original pyramids were built by divine energetic powers, but have been preserved throughout the years by the alien technology, the photosol, through EMP and EMLP. The pyramid personifies the reality of the divine energy embodying itself in the material world. This divine energy resides in every one of its creations, as well as all the creations of other beings, aliens, photosol, or simply human beings. The four walls of the pyramid personify, signify, and symbolize the divine revelation multiplied by four. I was reading something today, and it was really interesting because there is a theory in quantum mechanics that says that you and I really don't exist. We are nothing but what we perceive to be materialization of our own thoughts, but we're really not. We're really the avatars of something else. And in its imagination, as we try within ours, this one actually gives life to it. Well, that's weird. I don't know if I buy it, but he proves it out mathematically, but I don't know. Holographic universe, anyone? Heavenly winds in Garden of Eden. God radiates his influence in 4 different ways through 4 heavenly winds. The source of these energies, the 4 heavenly winds, come from the Garden of Eden, which is a paradise according to our understanding today. The Garden of Eden is located in Iraq, not far from Baghdad. It is a place that is exposed to the spirituality of the soul. However, it is hidden from the naked eye. Thus goes with Operation Shock and Awe. Rumors still abound that under the Bush administration, that when they went in to take Hussein down, that the real prize is what Saddam Hussein discovered. And it's just rumor. There have been some books written about it, but it is said that the U.S. Special Forces captured whatever the hell it was. And if you actually research this out, there were many Iraqis who actually verify the story because they saw U.S., they knew that it was U.S. Special Forces. And the thing about it was they weren't hitting the palace. They were hitting the museum. And whatever they did, they went in with precision planning, and whatever the hell they extracted out, who knows? So the story goes. Anyway, we continue. The 4 characteristics of the flow of these winds, the heavenly winds, exist in everything that is created on earth. Every wind has a feature as well as an influence. Okay. Western wind brings rain, humidity, and warmth. Excuse me. Eastern wind brings coolness and refreshment. Northern wind brings cold and dryness. Southern wind brings heat. Well, yep, that's still the way it is today. It's incredible that all 4 heavenly winds come from the same geographical location and the same energetic source. Yet each wind holds within it a different characteristic. How could it be that the warm air comes from the south and the cold air from the north, yet they are both coming from the same source simultaneously? This is one of the secrets of creation. Well, it does make it for interesting. And then if you're down in the southern hemisphere, it would be reversed, would it not? Hidden mysticism. Today, the mysticism is hidden, but the day will come when the mysticism will be revealed and transparent. It will no longer be hidden. The pyramid basically embodies everything that was, is, and will be. The now. The pyramid is the connection created by man between the physical and the spiritual. Other than the stone, which is visible to the eye, a pyramid is composed of the following base components: 18 laser lights symbolizing life, which is represented by the number of 18 in Hebrew, and the divine energy in gematria, which is the alphanumeric code of assigning a numerical value to a word based on its letters. The word life translates from Hebrew is equal to the numerical value of 18. 10 eternal and external surfaces symbolizing divine physical and spiritual giving. The word 10 in Hebrew means to give and also represents wealth. Between the creation of the creator, the numerical value of 10 always represents 1, which symbolizes oneness. 8 lines connecting the vertices through which energies flow infinitely between the base and the vertex. The number 8 symbolizes infinity. 5 vertices, including the apex at the top of the pyramid, which represents the divine. The numerical value of 5 represents the letter He in Hebrew, which symbolizes the divine God, that is connected to one's own being. 4 vertices at the spiritual base, 4 heavenly winds. that always point towards north, south, east, and west. Now, are y'all taking notes on this? The zodiac is an integral part of the earth and the pyramids. Without the energetic radiance of the zodiac signs, the constellations, the earth and the pyramids would never survive. The constellations of the zodiac surround Earth and are fixed in space. The zodiac constantly emits 12 different energies from its 12 different fixed constellations in the direction of Earth. Within the confines of each of the 12 constellations of the zodiac exist 12 stars that are not visible to those who are not currently at the awareness of the upper levels of the fifth dimension or higher. A universe within a universe within a dimension of a dimension. The 12 stars within the confines of each constellation each spin on their own axis. Additionally, the 12 stars within the confines of each constellation all revolve around the center of each constellation as a unit. This means that there are 144 stars within the confines of the constellations in the zodiac that are not visible to the eye. These stars will only become visible to us when we reach the upper limits of the fifth dimension or higher. Earth's origin of creation is a direct result of the 12 different energies radiating from the 12 different constellations of the zodiac in a circular counterclockwise motion around the Earth. This resulted in the formation of the physical world. Earth grew into what we know it to be today via an intimate connection with the sun and the solar energy emanating from the zodiac. This eventually turned Earth into a satellite of the sun, and today the Earth is an integral part of the sun and the stars. The Earth is a physical creation that was created through the use of energies of the stars, planets, and sun. I don't have a problem with this. I mean, it makes more sense to me than the Big Bang. Creating energy out of nothing? Okay. The zodiac is made up of 12 constellations. Each constellation is symbolized by an animal, an inanimate object, or soul. Each of these symbolize the spirit based on 4 fundamental points, which are the 4 divine areas of the heavens and a divine being. These 4 fundamental points are 1, lion, the symbolizing of the divine surface, fire, and that's lion. 2, eagle, or scorpion, according to today's astrologers, symbolizing the divine surface, wind. 3, the bull, symbolizing the divine surface, earth. And 4, Aquarius, symbolizing the divine surface, water. As I stated earlier, each divine surface is a triangle with 3 vertices, being that each pyramid has 4 walls. The divine surfaces, when the number of the vertices of each divine surface, 3, is multiplied by the number of the walls on the pyramid structure, 4, we get the number 12. This represents the 12 different constellations within the zodiac. Every constellation in the zodiac has its own uniqueness. For example, Aries represents the libido and the force of the spring season. Virgo represents the mother of nature. There are many more examples, but I will not get into astrology right now. I'm sure all of this may be quite difficult to understand, especially since I cannot reveal the code that would explain and clarify the connection between the physical and spiritual, between the pyramid and the zodiac, between the creation and the creator. Well, I have to say something to Mr. Anonymous. We're a pretty smart group here. And we are intuitive. We're empathic. Many of us are indeed psychic. We can use telepathy. And you know what? I mean, you can sit back and go, I think I'm seeing some of a connection, but who knows? Maybe we can make up our own code. The pyramid. The author says, I will do my best to sum up the essence of the pyramid code in a nutshell. Every pyramid in the universe signifies divine perfection, divine spirituality, divine physicality, and eternal light. Every pyramid moves, behaves, transmits, and absorbs spiritual and physical energy through the use of basic principles at the source of the pyramid being. It's interesting that being is capitalized and italicized at the same time. The pyramid is a being. Well, now we know why, as I have already established. So we need to make a little note on that. So what he's saying is that it's an essence, a living entity. The physical beingness of the pyramid is the power of electricity. Okay. The spiritual beingness of the pyramid is the power of thought. The electricity that I am speaking of is not the same electricity that we know of today. It is an electrical force that exists in the hands of very few people. This force is not known to the scientists and ordinary people of the day. Electricity has spiritual foundations, but it is the material being of the pyramid. Now, see, that's interesting. Electricity has spiritual foundations. Huh. Electricity is not seen by the naked eye, and it has no taste, smell, or color. Electricity is not alive or inanimate. However, it can be measured by humans through certain devices that can determine its level of power. Electricity can kill or revive and build or destroy, all at the will of the operator. Electricity is the vital energy that is necessary for the survival of the universe in all of its frequencies and vibrations. Natural electricity, as opposed to artificial electricity, man-made, can provide us with infinite energy and comfort in the modern world that we live in. I am referring to the universal free and natural electricity that does not pollute the earth. The human body or soul. Well, now that's interesting. What he's saying there is that what we have surrounded ourselves with in our technology, it emits a frequency and energy that is not so good for us. In fact, he said that it actually pollutes us. I happen to agree with that. And I keep on thinking about the hieroglyph they found in the Court of the Kings, where it shows two Egyptians holding a device that is, if you looked at it by the size, it's about 10 or 12 feet long, used for what would, my interpretation, even if you go and check it out, looks like electricity. Looks like they're harnessing it. Anyway, I digress. Imagine that. All right. Modern day artificial technology works at a frequency of 500 hertz to 600 hertz, depending on the country in which the electricity is produced. Yep. The average Western country uses 400 terawatts of electricity. There is a great deal of this artificial electricity that surrounds us at any given moment. The artificial poison is now essential for the survival of the population today. With such a poisonous creation, it is not surprising that the global frequency has gone astray, along with the frequency of the people living in it. Along with its advancement and comfort, it has also brought various physical and spiritual illnesses that significantly affect the power of thought and the soul. This has caused modern man to go crazy. It has taken us out of consciousness. Holy crap, folks. I mean, this is significant. I mean, I got to read this again. And those who are listening, go with me on this. Close your eyes and hear this. Modern day artificial technology works at a frequency of 550 hertz to 60 hertz. That's correct, depending on the country in which the electricity is produced. When I was in the video industry, when we were making our post-production facility, the electricity that came from the outside was what we called dirty electricity. It was raw. And we had to literally filter it down to take the spikes out of it, to take the dips out of it, because the equipment that we used in the video industry was very sensitive to the flow of electricity. It had to be what we said clean. This is very interesting. There is a great deal of this artificial electricity that surrounds us at any given moment. 5G, folks, that's what it is. It's radiation. And it emits from a base that is powered by electricity. It's a byproduct of this. Now get this. This artificial poison is now essential for the survival of the population today. We're addicted to it. And if our sun ever goes nova, you know what happens when you have a drug addict that can't get drugs anymore? They go through withdrawals, and it ain't pretty. Look at this. With such a poisonous creation, it is not surprising that the global frequency has gone astray, along with the frequency of the people living in it. Wow. We're living this. This can be validated in every one of our lives. Along with its advancement in comfort, it has also brought various physical and spiritual illnesses that significantly affect the power of thought and the soul. This has caused modern man to go crazy. It has taken us out of consciousness. If you want to sum up 2020, I think there you go. Gets better. Everything in the universe moves by electricity, and electricity is an integral part of the entire universe. It is also essential to the various beings, capital B, who dwell in it and move within it through the use of vibration, frequency, and power of thought. Electricity is part of our bodies. Every part of the body operates at different frequencies. Hello, Lilith, such as the heart, kidneys, lung, and brain. Lilith taught us this. Although different parts of the body operate at different frequencies, the general frequency of the entire body as a whole is 7.83 hertz. It's interesting that the Earth also works on a general frequency of 7.83 hertz, which symbolize life. 7 plus 8 plus 3 equals 18, which symbolizes life in the Hebrew. I highly doubt that this is a coincidence. I doubt it either. Our bodies are electrical systems, and our neural systems act as wires that conduct electricity. That's a fact. This electricity vibrates throughout the body with the help of the water, which is about 70% of the body. It is important to note that the Earth is comprised of 70% water, just like the human body. I highly doubt this to be a coincidence as well. Water vibrates at a frequency of 100 terahertz, which symbolizes the one. 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1, which symbolizes the oneness. That rules everything and anything. The sun operates at a frequency of 5.9642 gigahertz. 5 plus 9 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 equals 26. 2 plus 6 equal 8. Which is the numerical value of the gematria of the word Jehovah, which means God in Hebrew, symbolizing the divine power, which is infinite. 8 symbolizes infinity. Just look at the symbol itself for the number 8 itself, and all those numbers are according to the conversion of the Hebrew alphabet, which was also used by the pharaohs. I truly believe that the conversion of all these numbers is not a coincidence. The entire universe and everything within the universe receives its life force and beingness from natural electricity, when, which is incomprehensible to us. Scientists have yet to find the source that powers the heart, brain, earth, or sun, which keeps us so vital. The fundamental energy and neutrality occurring naturally occurring electricity is the same fundamental energy that is intrinsic to thought, every living being, and the being in operation of the pyramid. By becoming in tune with the constitutional energy behind naturally occurring energy, electricity, we can unlock the secrets behind creation and all that is sacred. Thought precedes everything in the universe. Thought is an integral part of creation, the spiritual, the physical creation. Thought is the power that connects the entire universe, including the connection between aliens, humans, animals, plants, Vadastal, and God himself, herself, itself. By the way, we humans are the lowest level of consciousness before plants. Well, surprise. Even animals have surpassed us. Humans today are at an extremely low level, far from the fifth dimension. Clean and pure thoughts bring us to eternal consciousness needed to activate not just the pyramids, but the entire universe. The pyramid code is part of the secret of the universe, a secret that we will only reach with the right consciousness. Ever since the time of the pharaohs, human beings are well known as the people who contaminated the Photosol race. Well, who contaminated us? Why doesn't some of these yahoos stand up and grow a set of balls and say, hey, listen, we really are the ones who really fucked you over, just saying. You know why they won't? Because we're going to kick its ass. Anyway, that's why Jehovah left. Got the hell out of town. He said, man, those people are nuts. All right. Every pyramid receives, provides, absorbs, transmits, and stores EMP and EMLP. Every pyramid moves through the use of magnets in its base, the energy of the sun, and the power of thought of its operators. Every pyramid, regardless of its size or location, can fly to any distance, regardless of space-time. Every pyramid is built of stone that symbolizes the divine surface, the earth. Every pyramid is built at a set of specific angles, 51 degrees towards the zodiac, the sun, and the North Star. Every pyramid contains 18 laser lights that symbolize divine energy and the divine light, with one always at the apex and at the base, the rest of the base. Every pyramid and its divine surface are facing and connected to the heavenly winds and the direction of north, south, east, west. Every pyramid is an independent spaceship that some have served as motherships. Every pyramid has a massive basement underneath and is containing its tools, instruments, machines, and spaceships. Every pyramid has hidden rooms, tunnels within it, especially underneath it. Every pyramid contains its history, documentation using the Hebrew alphabet on its inner walls in the secret rooms that was engraved using laser technology. The engravings reveal the purpose of the pyramid code, and the code that activates it. Every pyramid can also shrink by moving the stones and rock at its base into the pyramid itself. Every pyramid is independent without relying on another. However, all are connected to the eternal light. Pyramids also exist as structures on other planets in the universe, and they operate with the same foundation like the ones on Earth, only with different levels of gravity, which varies from planet to planet. Only on planet Earth did the pyramids turn to a tourist destination that is desolate and boring. Every pyramid can manipulate natural forces such as gravity in any way its operators desire. Well, they did find one on Mars. Probably going to find one on Venus. Pyramids that are. Yeah, check it out. They found them on Mars. Every star in the entire universe is a circle, okay, except for one star, which is known as the pyramid star. Like all other stars, it has been moving for eons in the direction connection with the zodiac and its constellation. However, it is in the shape of a pyramid. The pyramid star contains life, but not according to our limited understanding. Only worthy souls who meet the highest demands of the super supreme power make it to the pyramid star. The pyramid star and every pyramid on Earth was made, created, operated through the removal of time and space, as well as combining the power of thought together with the physical technologies of EMP and EMLP. Wow. The power of thought. The only thing in the entire universe is that is faster than the speed of light is the speed of sound, and the speed of sound is thought. Yeah. Bill Gates wrote a book back in 98, um, taking this very premise, and his was business at the speed of thought. Interesting. Aliens and human beings that operate spaceship pyramids activate their crafts through thought combined with the energy of the body. For example, the operator of a spaceship uses his hands to project his eternal spirit energy in order to propel a physical machine through the use of his thoughts. This is what Ariel told us, and this is what we've seen with Bob Lazar as well. That's why we couldn't fly the crafts when we captured them. The main factor of the incomprehensible speed of spaceships today and in more ancient times is thought. It is important to note that the Fatistol in ancient times thought on a much higher vibration and therefore and still are capable of performing physical acts that appear supernatural to us according to our limited understanding and awareness. The Age of Love. I hope this documentation has given you general understanding of the physical and spiritual structure of the pyramids and its teachings. I am aware that it is difficult to understand the true essence without the knowledge and understanding of the different codes, but I hope that one day will soon come that the entire world will be exposed to the secrets of creation, the codes, and the different formulas in order for us all to reach the age of love in strong spirit. This will lead us to pure love, true tranquility, and peace throughout all of humanity. This documentation, unlike the book, Rays of Light, was written without codes at all, except for the part where I tried to explain the essence of the pyramid code. There are no codes in the English text. The day will come when the different codes will be revealed to everyone, and understanding that this material will be easier to understand. Everyone will be able to apply the knowledge and wisdom in this document, both physically and spiritually. All of the writings here is purely from my memory of the distant past and the guidance I have undergone and experienced over the last 10 years. As I've already mentioned, the more I learn, see, and experience, the more I realize that I do not really understand anything, that I am still in the beginning stages of my journey. At least I'm comforted to know that there are on the right that we are all on the right path towards the age of love, that we are all unknowingly longing for. There are many secrets and mysticisms within our world, and unveiling it is all part of our wonderful journey. We must embrace the process with love and continue towards our destiny. One day, we may all be worthy and reach the pyramid star, the world of truth, tranquility, and love. This documentation has brought me to a new understanding. It has caused me to think about my current reincarnation and many other reincarnations, especially my first incarnation from the year 2448 or 1312 BC. It opened me up to new channels of thought and different understandings that I reached over the last 10 years throughout my incredible journey that began in January 29th, 2010. Today, I understand why Rabbi did not permit me to document my first incarnation, along with many other reincarnations. The world is still not prepared to digest the true nature of the world that we live in. I myself am not prepared for the age of truth and love either. I am a small part of the TLS, and with all that I have experienced, seen, and internalized, I am still in the beginning stages. What I don't know far exceeds what I do know. What I don't understand far exceeds what I do understand. My consciousness is still low compared to the grand spirits that I was privileged to meet throughout my life. As you might expect, my consciousness rose after the writing of this document. I see things a little differently. However, my path is still long. Um, a new level of consciousness. Through my current job and mission, I have come to a new level of consciousness, something I have never experienced before. Not on February 6th, 2020, part of my soul family, along with myself, were ordered to perform different actions. Despite my resistance at the beginning, I personally been sent to one of the most secret and dangerous missions of my life that I very much hope will yield its fruit soon. It may even be published worldwide with the intention to stop the evil. Anonymously, oh, excuse me, the animosity and the corruption that the entire world is currently experiencing while most people are dormant. I am sure that exposing the truth will move the people of Earth into a new and higher consciousness that will lead the entire universe into the age of love and the world of truth much quicker. This world, race, color, culture, and religion will be irrelevant. It will be a world with no religion except for the religion of love, in the age of love and in the world of love. I'm having a deja vu moment right now, folks. I remember reading this before, just in the same setting. It's weird. I realized that all souls that were embodied within me in all my reincarnation, that's just a strange feeling. That's wow. Are in the fact the same souls that connected the spirits as required from being to being, from consciousness to destiny and destination. I realized that Rabbi A was in fact an alien. Suddenly, I connected all the events and experiences we went through together and all his actions and talents. He was capable of anything. He was omnipotent. None of this would or could have happened unless he was an alien or a supernatural being, which would simply mean he's also an alien, unless you're saying that human beings can become supernatural beings. Just saying, folks. Suddenly I realized that he was actually deceiving me the entire time since our first meeting, in a positive way, of course. He always knew everything and was always everywhere. He had a love that only a supernatural being could give. Hmm. I feel the same way regarding Adam. It's weird for me to write these things, but I suddenly see and accept things differently. Initially, my relationship with Adam was much closer and stronger, but shortly after he introduced me to Rabbi A, he disappeared. Most of the training and knowledge I have received over the last 10 years was directly from the rabbi and the TLS organization. I know that both Rabbi A and Adam are in the pyramid star. I also know that and understand that we all unknowingly long to get there someday. Our consciousness will change in the near future, which will bring us new insights that will lead us on the right path. Whoever does not reach the required consciousness will simply become extinct from the universe with no way of returning through reincarnation. That sucks. I mean, come on. I mean, what? Okay. There are many other topics and secrets that I'm not permitted to speak of or document for several reasons. I still don't understand why, but at least I'm aware that there is a reason. I'm also aware that I do not have to know everything. There are hidden things that we will not understand, and not always do we need to ask or investigate. Time will run its course, and providing we choose the right path, we will reach a higher consciousness of the self, which will lead us to our destiny in our current reincarnation. While in the age of light, we will reach our ultimate goal and final destiny of reaching the age of love in the world of truth. Throughout writing this document, many thoughts of my current reincarnation and past reincarnations have run through my mind. It is possible that I was also some form of an alien in my first incarnation. It is possible that myself, Jason, or some of my friends within the organization, like Tina or Orly, are forms of aliens who are unaware. See, we're not all from the same place, folks. Is it possible that I simply don't remember everything because I am not fully conscious? Is it possible that they, my friends, simply will not remember until they reach their required level of consciousness? Obviously, I don't remember everything. I believe that someone is making sure that I don't remember everything for various reasons. That sounds like manipulation. However, it is possible that I reach such high abilities in my past reincarnations and lived such a long life without being from the offspring of the Photosoul. I know that Amram was a supernatural entity, and thus I conclude that his son, Menachum, must have been part of the same system. Makes me wonder and ask why. What else do I not remember? When will I get the information needed to continue to my final purpose and destiny? And actually, no, we're not going to have enough time. We'll finish this out tomorrow. This is weird. The internal dissonance. I don't know. It's an interesting read. I mean, you think about everything that's happening. So what he is saying that if you don't get on board, man, it's over for you. You're going to the place of the nothingness, which most people fear about death. The thing about death, why people fear it so much, they think it's going to hurt, number one, and they don't really believe that they're going to have their consciousness. And that's what drives people to, religions. I'm just trying to catch up into the chat room. It's a lively chat room. I got to tell you what, I have to go back and read that. Susie goes, yeah, we'll finish it up tomorrow, no doubt. I have another book right behind this one. And I gotta tell you, something's going on. As Sherlock Holmes would say, the game is afoot. Watson, it's definitely becoming interesting. I see other channels, and what I'm finding interesting on a couple, it seems like when we get into a subject, they're into a subject, and they're approaching it from a different perspective. But so there's a chord there. Let's see. Jenny says, "Oh yeah, this is some good conversations in here, man. I tell you what." Um, Anytime y'all want to come on, I think we ought to discuss this. So we have this galactic sheet heading towards us. It's a fact. I mean, it's not speculation. It's not, fear porn. It's coming. We can see it. We're seeing that it has a impact on every planet, every star that gets affected by this. I can't help but not think that there has to be a connection. There has to be a spiritual connection to this. It's energy. It's an energy of a raw level that changes everything it affects. Kind of reminds me again of the Star Trek Generations, the ribbon, coming through. And the one scientist wanted to capture the energy of the ribbon because if he could capture the energy of the ribbon coming through that solar system, that star, it takes you to a place that I would call paradise. Every desire, every situation, it's perfect. Let's see, could it be the galactic equator? Hence, it is this cyclical as we go around we also go up and down in the galaxy. I think you're right, David. I think it is. Like I said, I think Ben Davidson has done the best. I've pre-ordered his book. And his book is Cataclysm. And like David just wrote, it's cyclatory, folks. There's no escaping it. It's happening. So are we going to harness the energy of the ribbon? Are we going to allow it to help us ascend into a new dimension, a new realm of reality? Is this, in fact, the long anticipated new Earth that will see the convergence then separate? I don't know. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate that. I'm reading a lot of the comments in the chat room. Sharp people. Y'all are just real sharp people. There's no doubt about it. I tell you what, I appreciate all of you so much. I really do. I think Nina the Mystic has a show later on. Go over there and support her. I think Friday night, the Andromeda 7. Friday, we have the card reading with our lovely Amber, Miss Intuitive Amber, Empath, and Miss Jenny Roberts, and of course Nina and Steve. So yeah, and Big Al is in New Mexico. Big Al, we're sending you love and energy. Favor. Let's see. Someone says check out the channel to see the pattern and watch the procession. Okay, all right, cool. Thank you all. Y'all are just some of the best people. I really do appreciate it. I don't know many of your faces, but I certainly feel your energy. And hello, Jen. How you doing? Good to see you, hon. Hey, Julianne Payne. How you doing, my dear? There's Jules. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm telling you, folks, there is something. I'm going to bring it up with the Adrena 7 group. It may be a perfect place to think about this. This energy wave is coming. And I'm asking every one of you to stop and think about it. Maybe write me what your thoughts are. This energy wave is here. It's coming. There's no doubt about it. So can we prepare, and which I think that a lot of us are, for the forthcoming event? Will those of us who have prepared receive the energy in a different way than those who have not, those who would be approaching it with fear and trepidation? Wow, we got some good discussions go on. Maybe it's a big galactic blanket. Yeah, in some cases, yeah. Susie, I'm glad to see that. It's interesting. Hey, Sarah Horton, how are you doing, dear? It's very interesting. We got to talk about this. And listen, if you want to come on, love to talk to you about this. This is a subject that we could get a panel going on. Yeah, Claudette, I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm going to start thinking the thoughts were hitting me hard and heavy is that this is coming. I don't want to take the survivalist approach. I want to thrive. I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. And I'm not afraid to live, lay this physical body down. Not at all. Huh. Think about it. All right, folks, I appreciate you. See you tomorrow. And wow, got my mind a going. All right, much love to you all. May favor just protect you and surround you. Big Al, thank you for your faithfulness on this. Big Al, he's the whole, what's that? Yeah, David, I think David Bear, yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. What do you say to a solar flare? I hope we're not in the way. That's exactly what I say. It's like, holy crap, it's the nova. Even if it's a small nova, it's going to be a bad day on Earth. I mean, we're going to go back to the Stone Age, just like that. And I don't know. So I want to be ready. I mean, come on, folks. This would be a great discussion. If this energy wave, it's coming. How can we take it and make it to our advantage? All right, got me thinking. All right, peace out to everyone, and be good to yourselves, and we will talk real soon. Yes, Om Shate. Yes, and namaste to all of you folks. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. All right, bye-bye.